Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about diabetes and functional nutrition. Today we are facing a health crisis with metabolic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and more. And according to the National Diabetes Statistics Report in 2020, 34.2 million Americans have diabetes, or 1 in 10. 88 million Americans are pre-diabetic, which is 1 in 3. The age affected is getting younger and younger. That's why we need to be adept in learning how to prevent this disease and even reverse it. One of my favorite authors wrote, "We cannot be too often reminded that health does not depend on chance. It is a result of obedience to the law." There are 8 laws of health, and violation of those laws lead to disease and death. It spells out as health patterns. From the word patterns, we have P, which stands for pure water, A for air, T for temperance, T for trust in divine power, E for exercise, R for rest, N for nutrition, and S for sunshine. So these are very important principles of health, also known as 8 laws of health. So going to nutrition, let's consider this question. Why a plant-based diet is best for diabetes? Number 1, it's a diet that is sustainable. And today there are a lot of fad diets that come and go. But there is one that is here to stay, a plant-based diet. Number 2, it has more nutrient density if properly planned. Number 3, it is much healthier. Number 4, it helps the person have a balanced weight, since we have issue in this country of overweight and obesity. Number 5, it is rich in fiber and soluble and insoluble. So soluble plus insoluble fibers are food for the good bacteria. And you probably have heard some of the good bacteria are also known as probiotics, such as bifidobacteria and also the lactobacillus. Number 1, fibers are prebiotics because it feeds the probiotics. So the good bacteria feeds on insoluble or fermentable fibers, which they convert to short-chain fatty acids. So what are the benefits of short-chain fatty acids? The short-chain fatty acids improve enzymatic activity in liver and muscle, which improve blood sugar regulation. And this is a very important benefit for those who are diabetics. Number 3, short-chain fatty acids were found to improve insulin sensitivity. Again, another important benefit. Short-chain fatty acids bind to ghrelin, the hunger hormone which affects appetite regulation and energy homeostasis. And take note of this, it also acts like an alpha-glucosidase inhibitor, an anti-diabetic drug. So just by eating more fiber, we can reap these benefits of probiotics and having more short-chain fatty acids. And we also have higher satiety index, also known as fullness factor. Here's a list of food containing fermentable fiber. There's a lot of vegetables that you can choose from. There's also fruits. But consider berries. Berries have low glycemic index. There's also nuts and seeds and variety of grains, including pseudograins like amaranth, buckwheat, and quinoa. These are also known as ancient grains. And you also have beans or legumes. So including this in your diet can improve the fiber as a prebiotic for the probiotics. There's also the herbal supplements for diabetes And I want you to really take note of this. Supplements are supplements, and it's not meant to replace a good, healthy, nutritious food. Most often than not, our diet is not healthy as it should be. And even if it is, there are also nutrient deficiencies because of how our food is produced. It's often genetically modified and also pesticide laden with Roundup Ready. And not to mention that there's a lot of food additives that is added, and it's heavily processed. So including these supplements can help improve your symptoms if you are diabetic. Number 1, bitter melon. This is a folk remedy in Asia for diabetes and obesity. A study by Zhao and colleagues in 2019 published in Metabolomics showed improvement in the management of diabetes with better metabolic profile. Wow, amazing result. Number 2, barberry, which contains berberine. It is an important herb for metabolic syndrome, including diabetes. So, berberine is considered a novel hypoglycemic agent with positive effects on diabetic complications. That's based on the study of Chang, Chen, and Hatch in 2014. Third is Gymnema Sylvestre. So this contains gymnemic acid, one of the active properties in Gymnema Sylvestre, with anti-diabetic and anti-obesity effect. And this is based on the study of Pothurahu and colleagues in 2013. Number 4 is Cucina Indiga, also known as ivy gourd. So the ethanolic extracts from Cucina Indiga showed anti-hyperglycemic and anti-ureogenic effects for streptozotocin diabetic-induced rats. And interestingly, one of the classical symptoms of diabetes is polyuria. So this is actually protective against polyuria, and it also protects the organ itself. So just by this study alone, it shows us that there are medications that can induce diabetes. Number 5, Artemisia Herba Alba, also known as white wormwood. This is high in flavonoids naringin, which is also found in naranja or orange, and also other citrus fruits like grapefruit and lemon. And it also contains apigenin. So Artemisia Herba Alba was shown to be more efficient than glibenclamide. This is an oral hypoglycemic agent. And this study was conducted in an alloxan-induced diabetic rats. Again, they used the medication alloxan for the rats to develop diabetes. Great herbal formulas for diabetes. So here's a list that I put together from Dr. Christopher's pancreas formula, which is great since the beta cells are the ones who are often affected because they're the ones that produces insulin. And this is good for those people who have diabetic. And there's also the kidney formula, which work hand in hand, and the adrenal formula to reduce lethargy and improve energy. And there's Swedish bitters and Chinese bitters. Interestingly, we have taken out the bitter herbs from our diet and replaced it with a lot of sugar and sugary foods. Bitter herbs are really good for liver detoxification as well for helping our pancreas function optimally. There's also Dr. Schultz's bowel detox, liver detox, kidney detox, and for adrenals, you have female shot or male shot. Another good product is Glucose Supreme Herbal by Designs for Health. Here's also a list of nutritional supplements for diabetes. If a person is eating well, with a good healthy diet, the person would not probably need the nutritional supplements. However, at this day and age, especially when our food is so corrupted, and the fact that there's so many additives, and just even with fruits and vegetables per se, it's either not grown organically or with pesticide, and they're also genetically modified. So increasing the intake of nutrients through supplements can actually help, and provided that that company is reputable and they grow or they source out organic products to have their formula. So let's start out with chromium. 200 micrograms per day. Chromium is a nutrient that is often lacking in diabetic patients, thereby it's important to supply it. Magnesium, 500 milligrams per day. Vitamin C, 2 grams per day. Vitamin B complex, vitamin B6, 50 milligrams per day. Vitamin B12, 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms per day. Vitamin E, 400 to 800 milligrams per day. Zinc, 30 to 50 milligrams per day. Inositol hexaniacinate, 500 to 1,000 milligrams, 2 times a day. This is also great for those who have hyperlipidemia. Vanadium, 100 to 300 milligrams per day. Alpha lipoic acid, 600 to 1,800 milligrams per day. This is very important also in the production of glutathione. EFAs, essential fatty acids, which can be taken through flaxseed oil, 1 tablespoon per day. I know that's a lot of supplements, but you can actually get most of those supplements through Diabetic Support Formula by Nutritional. So this will not be complete if we won't have any functional food recipes. Number 1 is spirulina cocoa water. You can drink this in between meals to prevent hypoglycemia. There's also parsley celery juice. This is great not just for those who are diabetic, but also for those who have hypertension. And bitter gourd juice. Bitter gourd contains polypeptide P, an insulin-like factor. And lastly, we have turmeric moringa shake. Turmeric is known for its anti-inflammatory curcumin and curcuminoids. Moringa is power-packed with over 90 nutrients and 46 antioxidants. This thing is power-packed with nutrients, and I'm truly amazed by this plant as it used to grow in our backyard back in the Philippines. So knowing its benefits really puts a smile on my face. So let me leave you with this quote. Nature's process of healing and upbuilding is gradual, and to the impatient it seems slow, but in the end it will be found that nature untrammeled does her work wisely and well. This is from Ministry of Healing. So as I always say, choose health, choose life, and choose well. For after all is said and done, it's all about a matter of choice.